mercy sees all.
Bioluminescence is the production of light by living organisms. It fascinates me. It's found in many marine organisms in the oceans that we compare them to, right? We talk about bacteria, algae, but the jellyfish in particularly. They really remind me of, you know, what I'm capturing, what NASA showed us at the STS-75 mission, which we're going to see some interesting points and some change of directions, imagine, with those creature-like objects in the STS mission. No doubt about it, if they're changing directions like that, and you can see them spiraling, they're using their gills, if you want to change directions, and it really does look like they're in the bottom of the oceans. The only reason I'm talking about the STS-75 NASA mission is because it relates to my research and to some of the things that I'm finding on the moon that are great comparisons with the two of them. A lot of similarities that I'm finding, and there's a lot of different characteristics of the different lights that I'm seeing. Some are, again, letting off smokes. Some of them are not. Some of them are fast. But the fact that they appear and disappear, that I want to talk about, because I showed you a really cool part of the STS-75 mission yesterday, but I didn't show you in particularly the ones changing directions. Yes. Now, what would that mean? Seeing the organisms or whatever STS-75 mission was showing us, what would it mean seeing a change of direction? A subtle change of direction, like quick change of direction, where it stops in mid-space after having gone a certain speed and then goes downwards, even if there is no up or down in space, they say. The objects that I'm seeing arriving to the moon and leaving the moon are very bright, they're illuminated, and the illumination dims out. Here's one with smokes and hazes, but you'll see the comparison in the STS mission. One changes directions, and that's absolutely incredible, showing us that almost every object you see in the STS mission, like you're going to see right now, are going in a straight path, but they really are not all going in straight paths. And I want you to take note of the black spot also beside some, or on top of some of these objects. Something really interesting, whether it be a mechanism, whether these are UFOs or creatures. I'm going to show you just a few things in a few minutes that are going to make you completely change the way and how you think of space. So prepare to be mesmerized. You see that black spot that's at the edge or end of this UFO or creature? Watch what happens as it disappears on the top. It starts appearing on the bottom, almost looks like a triangular shape that's on the bottom. Are these changing the way they can rotate in space? Like, what's going on? Is this something that's alive? You can see it thrusting outwards from the center, this pulsating like a heartbeat. Let's go see my footage. This is what I believe is definitely, possibly life on the moon. Very large object, about a mile wide, over the moon, that is contracting, and it's expanding and contracting. What the heck? Look at it contract and expand, contract and expand. It's absolutely amazing. It's on the surface. Maybe it's its shadow beside it on the other side, or it's another object following it. But when I saw the STS mission, STS-75 mission, this is still my footage here, I was like, wow, maybe some of these creatures are definitely out there. I mean, listen, where were they during the mission? They were right by the moon, for Pete's sakes. The Luciferin, or Luciferus, they just talked about that. Glowing proteins in enzymes. Absolutely incredible. Bioluminescence is a form of chemiluminescence, where light energy is basically released by a chemical reaction. The reaction involves a light-emitting pigment. So it sort of makes me have a whole new look on glowing aliens, like, for example, light beings and stuff like that. I mean, bioluminescence. But you know what the thing that fascinates me the most as we're looking at this, my research under the clouds on the moon, these mysterious objects that really don't look like UFOs. And not just that, do you notice how they stop to take off again? They stop, they take off again. So imagine NASA in the dark sees this light up. Could that not be a bioluminescent creature also on the surface? Hey, we're shooting theories out here, all right? That's all I'm doing. I love it. I love the possibilities. They appear and disappear. We're going to see, again before the end of the video, back to the STS-75 mission. They appear and disappear themselves right before our eyes in the footage of NASA, and that directional change is absolutely incredible. That they can actually change directions, and you'll see the motion of the body of whatever that organism is in the STS mission as they change directions. Literally stops in the middle of space and goes downwards towards the tether, and we can see that in the footage. It's absolutely incredible that this footage has been around for so long. Not this, but the STS-75 mission. And now here's another thing. You know the ones that say, Bruce, it's just explosions you're getting. They talk about it. It's meteor explosions. It's not exploding. Look at it. An explosion doesn't light up and remain lit unless it's a hell of an explosion. And then it dims down. It's not. There's a spot there with an illumination behind it. It has to be propulsion or UFO or something. Check it out. Let's do the comparison with the STS mission. Here's a cool comparison. This is my footage on the surface of the moon. Brought the exposure down for you to see just the shape and form of what this UFO is doing. Let's go back to the STS-75 mission from NASA. Zoom up, bring the exposure down, and look at the object. That's one of the stationary ones as compared to the ones that are flying by. This is straight up live image of the STS video without any manipulation. Watch this. I didn't talk to you guys about this yesterday, but it's very important. You see this? What would it mean if it was to change directions as to start going downwards? Like it's going to do right now. Watch it. The object is going to start descending downwards. Look at the circular rotating motion of the gills, or sail, I call it. It looks like if these were creatures, they have like sails where they span themselves completely outwards in a circle, and they could probably travel with the solar winds. Why not? No? A bit too advanced? No? Ridiculous? Well, that's where I am in my world. Do you see them appearing and disappearing too? Absolutely incredible. So guess what? Most bioluminescent organisms are found in the ocean. Just saying. Humans primarily see bioluminescence as being triggered by a physical disturbance. It could activate it, such as waves or a moving boat hull. It gets the animal to show their lights on or off. But often animals light up in response to an attack or in order to attract a mate. So the relationship to my research is that I'm seeing lights glowing, disappearing, illuminating, some objects contracting, expanding and contracting on the moon. And then you look at the STS-75 mission, you see what looks like the bottom of an ocean. So what I'm finding on the moon is also elsewhere, outside of the realm of the moon. For example, this light here that actually stopped and said hello, I guess, over the house. And with the infrared camera, you can watch it leave. In this video, I had actually asked it, like I showed in the past, literally, please impress me and take off. And it actually did. Just a beautiful, beautiful thing. But there's beautiful and there's scary things. Let's go see the scary thing. The scary thing is that these lights are not explosions that I'm capturing. Why? Because they remain illuminated. But watch this. Small UFO, probably about a mile wide, the scale, because it's small. You could see flashes coming from around this object. Let's look at it closely. You'll see at one point, it actually looks like it's firing. Literally looks like it's firing on the surface. Watch carefully. It's approaching the edge there, and you see some projectiles or lights. Lots are going on around it. As hard as it is to see, it's proof. And for me, that's far better than seeing a nice image. There's an atmosphere on the moon, obviously, and the dust, the haze that are there. But look on the edge of Theophilus crater, you can actually see. It wasn't the clearest day either, but that's the day where something was roaming along the edge of the crater. It almost looks like it's on the surface and not flying. Pretty cool. Thanks for watching, everyone. If it wasn't for my amazing community, this channel wouldn't even exist. Thanks a whole bunch, everyone. I really appreciate it.
This is Houston. Say again, please.